Oh Jesus, me bench. Oh fuck, I'm in the wrong shed. Where's all the stuff that was on it?
That's bollocks, that's I assume.
Would imagine so. Well, actually now that could do a job for us, but I think that chucks around 3 grand if it's in VAT.
Yeah. Anyways, an expensive bit of scrap. Hello everybody, my name is Farmer Phil and today we are back in the workshop, as you can see. And this is another workshop tidying video. I'm filming the start of the video after spending the last 2 weeks tidying, and you're now about to see what I've spent the last literally 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since I made the last video, and this is what I got done in 2 weeks. And I probably, now that I say it to myself, it's been 2 weeks, doesn't seem like I got a lot done. But anyways, I have to edit it, go spend 2 hours out here now, and then we'll finish off the video. We'll give you a little updates, a few things that's happening, and a few other bits and bobs. But anyways, enjoy. So, we are here now with Bro. We're not going to call him Brother Phil, we're just going to call him Bro. That's why he's Bro.
Yeah, Bro.
As you can see, doors are now open. Place is really starting to tidy up a bit. Spent a few nights in it. Got some shelves. As much as my father spent, Father Phil was at the shelves. We'll talk about that another time. He was and he wasn't at the shelves. It's a point of contention. Anyways, we got rid of a lot of stuff yesterday and now we are clearing. The plan is for this evening, we're going to clear this back wall, this area here, because we have the larger stuff that's at the door over here. I have nowhere to go with that stuff. Some of it is our collection of different kinds of scrap, and some of it with exhaust, forward drive shafts, some other stuff. I get it all put along the back wall, out of the way. The 6290, haven't really mentioned it yet. Waiting on my uncle to come with the diesel injector for it to put back on it, and then we are going to be putting it back together, so to speak. We'll be just putting all the engine stuff back on it, getting wheels on it, getting it out of the shed. So I can get the teleporter in and take out, I think there's 3 of them bars of scrap and 1 is burnt oil. Well, I'll get them all out of there and tidy up the back. And when we get this tractor out, now, will it drive out of its own accord? Probably not. It won't be far off driving out, but probably won't go pull back all the way just to get out of the shed so we can get in. The Massey 50 will be coming in then, and we will be putting in the loft before the Massey 50 comes in, because while we have it out, my father's going to do that. So anyways, for this evening, me and Bro are going to be doing a bit of tidying and getting a bit of sorting done. This is the area I want to get done this evening. And yeah, so we'll crank up the radio and we will get to it. And Father Phil is inside with his feet up. He cut the hands himself today, doing a bit of guttering. So we'll be hauling stuff into him as we find stuff that we don't know whether it's scrap or not. You excited, Bro?
Yeah, let's get it done.
So we've got on quite well. We are now back wall cleared, and we just put some of the stuff back there. That there's no point. I know it needs to stay there, it's not coming out. And we're just cleaning up the last bit in front of the tractor there now. So we went for the tea there and we're going to finish up. That's why bro isn't back out. But yeah, weren't hard for too long, but geez, we got a fair bit done now. I'd say now it's Friday night tonight, and by next Sunday or next Saturday, not Saturday tomorrow, the following Saturday, another week, and we'll be finished in here. It'll all be tidied, and we'll probably have started the loft, and that joke probably still won't be running. But anyways, one of the biggest downsides to Father Phil not being here is this happens. All the stuff that I can't say yay or nay to, I have to put out here so that he can go through it to say yay or nay. And there's a few stories to be told there as well before it goes into the bucket. He says he's going to do that in the morning, so we'll bring out the camera with us and we'll see what he has to say about all of that, or all the stuff in that area. Stuff behind it is just collecting stuff. Anyways, leave it at that for tonight, pick it up tomorrow. That. No idea.
Well, about 4 years ago. That'll give you a clue.
Class.
Yeah. About 4 years ago, you were driving the harvester, 7-pad.
Yeah.
Every so often there'd be this jingle, 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 jingle. And he'd stop, and he'd start, stop, and start. A few jobs went by, and it still stopped and started. Could not nail it down. No way. Done me damnedest. Never really used the handbrake that often on it.
Yeah. This is when the brakes went on fire.
No.
No?
It's the fucking handbrake hub.
The handbrake hub.
The splines went in it. Oh.
Oh, aye. Inside in it.
Yeah. Just went.
And
that was it.
That was it. It just
fucking decided it was
handbrake.
bollocks, and that was it.
Handbrake, and John went in it.
Yeah, splines went on that.
Yeah.
She got a new one, and that was finished.
Yeah. So that's scrap. Now we'll go through this pile that we collected last night.
When I wasn't here.
Obviously.
No, you can do the lifting, I'll have the camera.
Okay. And these are the legs for the discs of the plough.
So you can hold on to them.
So I'll run these back to the back of the shed. Are we ever going to use them? Are they any good, or?
Well, you just better not pick them out now at the same time.
They can go up the way down the loft, I suppose.
Well, yeah, and keep the boards from flapping on the loft.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Go could I pick up tines? Off with them.
What were they on?
That was on.
Because they're all good ones. Like, they're all twos. There's not a single on it, but they're all used.
Ah, but look at the ends on them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You could shave with them. The pickup went completely in bits on the 07 baler in about 2013, I suppose.
Yeah.
2012. It completely just mangled itself, and I had to put all new bars into it.
What happened to mangled itself?
It just wear.
It
was actually the only thing he ever gave any trouble was to pick you up on that bed, and that's the narrow one, not the wide one.
Yeah, not the wide one, the older one.
And we ordered up new bars and new cam. I showed you the cam ends that was wore, and when I was putting the new bars back, I wasn't going to put on all the old tines, so off with them. We've had lots of them.
The hub.
No,
I'm not.
Veneery, load and shovel, decided that it was having no more, and the whole gears in there just went into absolute. You can take the camera down there and
I'll take the camera back.
point it where you want it. Ate itself up.
Yeah.
A bear can collapse in it. They were prone to doing it, and for some reason it was the left hand rear wheel that always went.
Yeah.
My own personal opinion on it was lads that would be sogging into loads of grass.
Yeah.
And maybe taking the back of it slightly off the ground. It was the wheel that came up. And
The left.
The left.
Yeah.
For some reason it was tending.
Whatever it was balanced, the left wheel come
I
up.
have ever seen our wheel back axle coming off the ground. It was very seldom. But it was the left wheel that had always come up and the right wheel that stay on the ground.
Yeah.
And it'd get the slap
Going back down.
and needless to say, nearly everybody I knew that had a veneery load and shovel, that's going back a lot of years,
Yeah.
all got rid of them. But they all had the left-hand hub went on them before they got rid of them.
Yeah.
And ours, the left-hand hub has been replaced on it.
And that's it. Right. We have a lift arm.
Yeah. Black. Of 6290, the one that we're working.
The umbilical tractor.
Yeah, we had a driver one time. He was moving it late at night between jobs. And I was flying him up in the Jeep. I don't know why I wasn't close to him, but I was. Maybe I was agitating the next tank or something.
Yeah.
We're under pressure anyway. Good many years ago. And there's a bump in the road. And that's what happened.
The top link.
No, no.
Or sorry, not the top link. The
Drag arm.
this piece here.
Yeah. Broke that off. There. And pulled the thread.
And pull the thread.
Pulled the thread and she bent. It was scrap.
Scrap. There's nothing useful in that.
Went to lift it with a chain and broke the opposite one.
Broke the two of
He
them.
broke the two of them. And lucky enough he had a chain and he was able to get them just about dragged in off the road.
Yeah.
I had to go back, we'd go down the next morning, take off the umbilical system, take off all the bits that was broke.
Yeah.
Lucky enough I had one of those. Put all back and I seamed them, I welded them solid
Yeah.
and put them back on the run. To this day they didn't go, but I put 2 extra accumulating cylinders
Onto it.
onto it to give it
Give it,
suspension.
yeah.
They're off a loader,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't happen again, so she can't get the
Can't get a hop. It
stock.
has a bit of give in it.
bounces.
Yeah.
You watch the lift.
Oh, I watch it.
It's
The
all
whole,
the time.
the whole time the umbilical system is bouncing
That's why.
along. That's why, because you
If
put
you hadn't got
accumulators.
that,
Yeah.
you'd be constantly putting them on.
Yeah. The accumulators on it saves it.
Yeah, but there's an accumulator on each cylinder.
Yeah.
It's just not one accumulator.
It's two on both
The time
sides.
that happened, he went and he put one of the accumulators on. I had them belonging to a load. They were for a loader, but we used them for a different job, and we didn't no longer need them. He put one on here.
Yeah.
And if you're going the road, we're going behind him, and you see this lift arm going this way, the whole
Whole
going
time.
that way, where this one was given, but it
And
wasn't
that
given
one
this one
wasn't.
any suspension.
Yeah.
So when we put on the new slurry cap or slurry mate system that time,
Yeah.
3 years ago, I put another one on here.
Yeah.
And linked one into each ram.
Yeah.
Brilliant job. Just like a suspension and a loader.
Like a dampener.
Yeah.
Yeah, same job.
You could never plough or do anything with that tractor now.
No. That's bollocks, that's I assume.
Would imagine so. Well, actually, now that could do a job for us. We have to get a scraper ram because
Someone bent one.
somebody not looking at anyone in particular decided to bend it. Considering since we bought that first 25 other gallon tank,
The
since
first one.
2006,
The one that we don't use.
well, we haven't used now in 2 years.
A bit longer.
Has got a new shaft every year from the day I bought it,
Yeah.
because I wouldn't have it on it a month. As some of you said, catch the fucking lift arm in it.
I don't think I
then-
ever caught the lift arm in it.
I seen it come back one time and there was nearly a right angle bend on it here. Yeah,
What was that?
that is a bracket off the back of a piston pump in a Massey, probably more likely out of 298.
298.
Yeah, that held the auxiliary pumps
Right.
onto the piston pump.
Right. Yeah.
See? That's what that was for.
Yeah.
Head on your pump onto your piston pump was on this side of it.
Yeah.
Both to the side of the pump. And there was the gear. That was for the in a 188 now, that was a multi-power pump.
Yeah.
And auxiliary pumps for your hydraulics. In your 590, that's what we have to replace in the 590.
Yeah.
That's gone tired in the 590. But that's what that plate is. There is exactly. No, you think I don't know anything, lad? Oh, look at that.
Did you Marie do?
Well, that's a blobber.
A what?
A blobber.
That's a blobber.
That came off the Schaffer sprayer in the day before there was GPS.
Yeah.
And when you be spraying pre-emergence
Yeah.
or spraying stubble, that'd be very little stubble on, you couldn't see where you were going.
Yeah.
That left off a blob of a foamy substance that you could see where you were after spraying.
Oh.
It was on the left and the right hand boom of the sprayer.
Oh.
I took it all off.
So we now have the back wall, a nice section of it, tidied. And I've moved everything that Father Phil wants to keep to that space there to stop it cluttering up the door. So now we can like do a full lap of the 6290 without being afraid of tripping across anything. So it's great, we can run around it now instead of fixing it. But anyways, so what is the plan? The plan is to go as hard and fast we can so we can get this loft in. Probably start putting in the loft before we're fully finished tidying, because all this stuff here is going to go on the loft. A lot of the stuff on the walls is for the loft, and a lot of stuff on the shelves is for the loft, and we need to clear all that up there to be able to, you know, sweep and brush down. We also have to, I've said before, this tractor, gotta get out of this shed. Got to get it out so I can get in the teleporter and take away the barrels of scrap. There's a couple of them underneath there. Some of them are empty, some of them are full of oil. Also have to get an IBC washed and brought in to collect all the open barrels of burnt oil, put them all in it, because we have an oil burner just in the back there. You wouldn't light it at the minute unless you had a big bonfire, but anyways, for using in that. So the plan for now is to start clearing this way, in this way. So I was debating about clearing off the bench now, but I know if I clear the bench, Father Phil is just going to start piling stuff on top of it. So loft will be high enough to walk in under and hopefully drive in and out tractors without having to take off exhausts, all the vintage ones. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Bro is here to help. Father Phil is just finishing off his tea, isn't that what he's at? And he's supposed to come out, and bro looks very enthusiastic.
Oh
so anyways,
yeah, I'm so enthusiastic. I got 4 stars here.
you'll be alright. So anyways, we will start moving. I think we'll clear all the plough parts first, and we'll start going that away. So, I think I've done a couple of nights since I had the camera out last. We have now, well, when I say we, it's pretty much just all me, but never mind that. We've a lot of stuff cleared. All that's left here now in barrels, well, bar them 2 barrels are for out, but I get that far before I take them out, there's nothing in them. Barrel of scrap, 3 barrels of oil. I also gathered up all the open drums of burnt oil, and it's in an IBC just behind the door. We also have a few bits for Father Phil to do story time on there and just go through a few bits there. And he was picking up stuff the other day and putting them up to one side for story time. And so yeah, that's really it. Getting there now. We're nearly 2/3 of the way. And this is just the hardest bit to the oil burner, that corner. The rest is very handy because there's very little in it. So we will get it done, and we should be clear, ready to put in the loft for next week. All going well. But anyways, we'll stop talking and we get to it. So now, for the first time in, to be perfectly honest, I never ever remember seeing the bench like that. Never. Clean. Fully clean, like clean to the back. Just put back some of the stuff that I know needs to be there. I had, I think 3 or 4 of these, full of these, a scrap. Off that, and our toolbox over here. That's stuff for Father Phil to go through. The toolbox, the tools is now full of stuff that's to be sorted. And I still haven't done that area, or under there, or around there. But anyways, I'm not going to clean out there. I want to concentrate now on just clearing that so we can get the teleporter in to put up the steel for the loft. So Father Phil can be working at that during the day while I'm feeding cattle, so that we can get the loft up, so we can, you know, get shit moving along, like, and hopefully we get this girl out of here so we can get the telly in and do all that. Yeah, but anyways, the bench is clean at long fucking last.
Oh Jesus, me bench. Oh fuck, I'm in the wrong shed. Where's all the stuff that was on it?
Well, there's about 4 buckets of scrap in there.
Put it on the bench.
Yeah.
Oh good lord.
When's the last time now? So I can't remember it ever
10
being
years.
clear.
It's 10 years.
Yeah.
Pies with dust. 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I spent the last hour doing.
10 years.
Everything I thought was any good, I put there. Any of the bearings and chains and bits and bobs, I put them on the shelves. So you have a pile of stuff here to go through. What do you want to do it now? You go have your tea anyways.
Yeah, I'm not coming back here.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll look on another day. But anyways, the bench is now cleared, and as you can see, he's covered in dust. He's been rolling barley all day. But yeah.
For a man that has a Farmer Phil fan.
Yeah.
And he's only 5.
So we are here tonight with Father Phil.
You know something now?
What?
You actually haven't moved any things in the shed.
What do you mean?
Big stuff.
Big stuff?
Yes.
As in that?
Well, the chassis of Austin is still in the same spot.
Yeah, well...
The 2 tractors still in the same spot. And that's still in the same spot. And look at all the space you have.
I can't do anything about getting that moved.
Earlier?
Do what earlier?
Clean it out.
Stop.
Great Gostin.
Stop. Anyways, he's here to do a bit of story time with some of the stuff there and some of the bits in the shed before I go dumping the rest of it. So, what's that?
What's that, you?
This. Fuck yeah. I was going to say the belly of a class, but
Well, the class part is right.
I have no idea after that.
The cover off the belts on the class combine we had years ago.
Oh, the Dominator.
Yep.
This.
Pulley.
No good.
Tensioner. It's a guide pulley off the separate pad.
Off that one and out there.
When you used to be knocking the drum off of gear, and just as the belt would be stopping, you'd hear this nasty, screechy noise.
Yeah.
Fucking pulley, the bearings went in it.
Oh. That's a whole new pulley.
It was a whole new, it was a grand job.
That's steel, is it? Yeah, I know.
Extinguishers down to the combine that burnt.
Yep,
2 of them.
2 of them. So
They
the
would
one
have
is
taken
there.
a third one if we could have had it that evening.
Yeah, but sure.
Might have stopped it.
But even if you had to stop it, sure, the damage was done, like.
Oh yeah, the Hamilton.
Yeah. So that combine, Massey 32 4-wheel drive, you will get to see hopefully or later on this month when we go to retrieve it and bring it to Wilton's to be eaten alive. Well, it's not really working, but
Not
anyways.
alive anymore.
No, it's not alive, but anyways. Yeah, that'll be good. We get to see that when we go up to Wilton's recycling. Anyways, these are scrap, or do they go into scrap? Right.
And there's a joint. We'll keep that as well.
Right.
Can't have the shelves empty.
Go to the back with it.
But the combine shelf,
Yes, to the back. Oh,
he thinks he knows everything, he just
I
doesn't
don't know
it all yet.
everything. And there's the teak gone there. Teak more than that.
About 5 years ago, I went up the road in the springtime to load lime.
Yeah.
And there was this tip, front of the loading shovel. And I said to myself, that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember it. When I got a minute when I was loading the lime for the contractor, I got down and I checked the axle, loads of oil in it.
Yeah.
And it was tip. And I said, that doesn't sound right. Decided season kind of started early that year.
Yeah.
We done the first job, and it wasn't no worse, no better. And I says, no, I was not happy with this. Right, come away a week, right, say into the shed.
Yeah.
Probably was the last thing that was ripped in the shed
before
that
this
fucking thing got
lovely
hit.
tractor went in.
Oh, when I ripped it, here we were missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teeth
7 teeth.
off the crown wheel
Yeah.
in the diff.
Yeah.
The pinion was okay, but the crown wheel was damaged.
Yeah.
So with a bit of searching, I found one in Cork, in a breaker's yard in Cork, and we had to go down and get it and bring it up and rip it and put it together and put it in, and that meant that I had the front and back axle done
Yeah.
in the loading shovel. Didn't go since, but
No.
pain in the arse. You didn't pick it up. No, come on.
That's off the hub.
No,
No?
No.
It's off the loading shovel.
no.
I'm not. Oh, the fucking
Yeah, should
teleporter.
fucking know.
The teleporter, the ring gear and the teleporter for starting it.
4-cylinder Perkins engine
Yeah.
has a nasty habit of always near enough always
Stopping in the one spot.
in the one spot, and that's
Yep.
the spot. With the result, perfect.
Yeah.
But just that spot she stops every time, and that's the spot that the starter kicks in on.
Kicks in on, yeah.
And eventually it got to the stage where our starter would not kick in.
Yeah. I remember we used to have to go and you'd be pulling the fan to see could you
to
get
rock
the
the fan to
turn.
get it to come a bit, and you'd be got everything.
That was a big job to get that fixed.
It wasn't that it was a big job, but it was a of a job.
Yeah.
It took me a day.
More, so we had the...
Well, I started one evening and I took the radiator and the whole lot out, and I got hot the next day, and I was at till about 4 o'clock till I was ready to call for the tractor loader to lift out the engine. Left the turbine in the torque unit where it was,
Yeah.
didn't disturb any seals, took back the engine just enough to get the flywheel off,
Yeah.
took out the flywheel, I had that in the oven inside.
Yeah.
Your mother wasn't around, lucky enough. There'd be war. Had the new one of them in the oven, brought that to the bench, gave it a nick of the grinder, popped it off,
Yeah.
went into the oven with a pair of gloves, got me ring gear,
Yeah.
brought it out, dropped it down onto the cold
Flywheel.
flywheel. It just slipped down on it like that, never
Yeah.
put a hand near it.
Yeah.
Gave it 3 or 4 minutes, she tightened,
Yeah.
because it expands when you heat it,
Shrinks in its
put
cools.
it back in and spent the next day putting it all back together again.
Yeah. So, another bit
That's what
for...
happens. Perkins 4-cylinder engine are notorious for stopping in the one spot.
Yeah.
That was off.
That was the combine, the gear that broke on the elevator. That rung.
Our Massey 38 combine gave us lots of little bits of trouble down through the years. All to do with the elevator boxes all filling up.
Yeah.
Could never know what was wrong. Till one day I was standing beside it and he was cutting and the elevators all slowed down and stopped. He got out because the warning lights got on.
Yeah.
Again he got down, they had freed themselves and they started work again.
Yeah.
And I said, something wrong with that. And he went on a bit and the same thing happened again. We were forever putting the 2 belts on it for driving the elevators.
Yeah.
Burn them off with no bother. And I says, I have to have a look at that. And I came and kind of, it actually was starting to drizzle rain that evening. And I says, this is it now. We're out the teleporter, up the side of it, up all the panels. You couldn't even get a look at it. To take it out, I'd say it would take a day to rip the side out of the combine, to take out the elevator, to take the top off.
Yeah.
You could get space to take the top off. So I got a little mini grinder. Shouldn't think you should never do.
Yeah, this is... What would you call it? A Del Boy job, is it?
Oh, worse.
Worse.
So I cut the top out of the elevator.
Yeah.
And here was the sprocket inside that was driving the chain. Now that's not this sprocket.
Yeah.
That's the sprocket that was driving the chain.
Yeah.
And it had been riding the chain at an awful rate. But the sprocket inside was gone. There was
Yeah.
nothing left. There was no teeth on it. There was nothing. There should be a bit of it there somewhere.
I haven't come across it.
I've come across it and show it to you. New sprocket was 30 quid.
Yeah.
Ordered at a local Massey dealer. Took 3 or 4 days to come in. I put in my new sprocket. The chain was still in good nick.
Yeah.
The elevator chain with all the paddles on it was perfect. Put all back, welded the little bits and pieces on the top to fit it in, got my eyes upon, sealed it up. We never have touched that sprocket since, and that's 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What is it?
I know what it is. It's the magnet out of the self-propelled, the metal detector.
Cutting maize 1 year, nearly finished. metal detector go off. Check it out, nothing. Done a little bit, metal detector went off. Checked it out, nothing. Then it worked grand for the rest of the evening.
Yeah.
We were finished that year, so that was grand, passed no remarks. Service is up the next year, she was running here in the yard, she was tip top, not bothered with it. Went off to cut about 140 acres for a customer. And every so often she'd trip the metal detector, but there was nothing in it.
Yeah.
Trip it, there was nothing in it. As the day went on, it got worse and worse, but we got that job finished. Couldn't figure out what was wrong. Someone said to me, check the bearings in the roller.
Yeah.
It was a few drocky days, pulled all out, put in all new bearings, checked all the wiring, checked everything, perfect. Sometimes if there was a bearing going, a ball would fall out.
And
the ball would go round. And every time the ball would come round in the roller,
it hit triple.
Tripped that jug.
Yeah.
Couldn't see anything wrong, put it all back. Done the next job, wasn't as bad as it was, but still wasn't right. Cut her own.
I remember that.
And we spent about 3 hours trying to fill the herring trailer.
Yeah.
It just would not work.
Yeah.
It just flatly refused to run. Metal detector, metal detector, metal detector. Rang several fellas and you get a lad down with a laptop, but it'd be a couple of days before we get to you. It was middle of the silage season, they were up to the eyeballs. I rang the Leinster Farm Machines store man and I explained what was going on, and he says, yeah, it could be that, but I think that jug's around $3,000 to fill the vat.
Yeah.
And he says, I have one left. And I says, you better leave it out for me.
Yeah.
So yourself and your mother headed to Dundee that night.
Yeah.
I got in another contractor to keep you going, start picking up our own silage. Next morning I got up at 5 o'clock. I took that all asunder, put in the new one. I had some of the lads I was talking to said if there was cracks in the
rollers
to make sure and weld them. That sometimes the flexing of the roller it cause it. And then you had to be very careful because you had to get a demagnetized stainless steel rod.
Yeah.
If you had an ordinary rod that had pulled to a magnet, you couldn't weld it because
it had tripped
that out.
Yeah, I remember you
Very
welding
technical
it.
job
I
now.
remember you welding it, and then having to, when you had it done, seeing would it work, having the end of a long stick and a screw in it to just nose it in to see what it tripped.
We went on then, and I put it all back. I was with a long draw. It was 35 acres had to be drew, or 25 acres, whatever was in it. 35 acres was in it. I had to be through a long journey, so it was a slow job.
Yeah.
But at 12 o'clock, I went up and picked up the last acre.
Yeah.
With that drum. And I had no one helping me. And you were only nipper. Well,
I was out.
You were, what age were you?
I was out because I remember I must have been 16.
2012.
2012.
2013 that went. It was 13 that went. 7 years ago that went.
7 years ago. 7 years ago I would have been... Oh Christ. Yeah, 14, 15.
Yeah, sure.
I was at something.
About nipper.
I was at something anyways.
We couldn't know whether it was work or not, and I put a screw into a lat, and I got your mother, you see with the harvester, once I leave the seat,
yeah, it won't run.
Cuts everything.
Yeah.
So I had to get your mother with a lat and touch it again, the roller, and sure enough,
yeah,
it was perfect. But when that's running perfect and everything is right,
yeah,
that nut is very small.
Yeah.
That nut will not get into the harvester.
Yeah, it's even smaller than that one.
I'd say a matchstick of a barbed wire, of wire wouldn't get in.
Yeah.
But that's what that is.
That's what that's for.
You can head it for the skip.
It's a good bit of weight in it. It's not even a strong magnet.
No. There's magnetic stuff in it, but I don't know. It's kicking around there.
Anyways, an expensive bit of scrap. So, some more story time to finish off this evening.
Weather cap off the 3690.
Your,
I had.
Your one.
Look at the wear on top of the weather cap.
Yeah.
It used to sit that way. I cut it off and put a new weather cap on it. I couldn't get the...
Couldn't get to come off
Couldn't get it to come off it. Just found it in the barrel of scrap, but that was the wear on the pivot pin.
Yeah, for it.
For it.
A fair bit of wear in it.
That's just from the exhaust going.
Yeah, that's just from the exhaust going up and down.
Coupling. One of the tractors we bought down through the years. 4-wheel drive shaft must have been given a bit of trouble for somebody.
It was welded.
I decided to weld it. Not a very good idea.
Yeah, it broke after, but look at that.
Agitating in a 6180 one time.
Yeah.
I noticed the back end of her where the PTO, where the top link went in.
Yeah.
This bit here. These are different now. When the 6180s, the top link went in on 4 or 6 studs in the cap, and
Yeah.
I seen it getting steam coming off it.
Yeah.
And I said, that doesn't look right. And lucky enough, I knocked it off there and then. And when I went to investigate, bearing had gone
Just in the back end.
in the back end, up high.
Yeah.
Lots of oil, don't know why. Made a bit of a job getting it out. There's a few belts of the hammer on it, but
Yeah.
just got a second hand, that cluster gear second hand,
Yeah. Just pop back into
popped
it.
it back into it, and took a bit of an evening to put it in, but just found that top of the barrel. That would change this shoe in the Jag. One of the jobs we were cutting, I got out and I could see the whole back of the harvester in at the radiator was all little grass chip clippings.
Yeah. There, that, where the blower through there.
4 through there.
That's
Had
the,
one.
that's the back of the blower.
Back of the blower, that you take the house.
Yeah,
put
for
in
to put in the mills.
In the mills, yeah.
And for a change, I actually have nearly a full bucket. For a change. So, what I have to do, or what I'm going to be doing tonight, is this pile of twigs. It is literally, it's all just twigs. Why? Because every spring the crows come in through 2 holes up there, 2 holes up there, and over the door. And for whatever reason, they always seem to lose them here. I don't know. That's why there's so much twigs and just general rubbish. Is because the crows get in. One of the jobs that we will be doing is sealing up the holes up there and putting the rubber on top of the door over there so they can't get in anymore, so this can't happen. Also, you couldn't exactly, this is our oil burner, and you couldn't exactly light that with that there. That's our oil burner, and as you, the chimney goes out up, but these pipes that goes curled around it there, there's an extract that goes through the hole in the wall there, and that's an extractor fan is hooked onto that, and that heats up our spraying room, or what we use like 3 or 4 times for spraying. Also, if you're wondering, them collection of English and Northern Irish plates is all the different tractors my father has bought over the years, right back to I think to 2720. He had them out and he was telling me all about them the other night, but we will go through them again probably in the next video when I got at them. Anyways, this is what I gotta do. Get that tidied and that, yeah, just all of that. But anyways, better get to it. I get good feeling. So now everyone, that is the end of today's video. As you can see, 2 weeks. It took 3 days to clear this section here, which is starting to fill up again because you can't put stuff places. Anyways, 2 weeks to go from back of the tractor, up the side, clear the back wall, clear in this way, clear the bench, clear right in to the 3rd bay. We are in the final 3rd to be done now, and I'm hoping by next Sunday the 6290 will be out of the shed, put back together, probably not running, but put back together with a new set of rubber on the front. I'm also hoping the loft will have started. I probably won't have that bit cleaned out, but I should have a lot of it done. That's what I'm hoping for by next Sunday, and I hope you'll know if you'll know if what I want comes true next Sunday, because next Sunday the title should be "That Joke's Coming Out of the Shed." Just waiting for my uncle to come to put the injector pump back on it. That's all. But anyways, yeah, it's great. It's great just to start to see. You know, you can actually start walking around. You can walk in front of the bench and everything without like stepping across stuff. It's a good feeling. But in 2 weeks, it doesn't seem like I've done a lot, but sure, hey ho. And Saturday night tunes and iRadio, oh, they never put a bad one up, and you're just buzzing, absolutely buzzing cleaning this place out. But anyways, so yeah, I got me a bit tidied up here. We got sort of tidied around that. Give myself a heart attack. Double compressor curtains on. We ain't going to be lighting that anytime soon, because to make that safe again to light, all of that has to come off it, so it can be blew down, dusted down, all cleaned up. Father Phil is now back here to see what I've done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're the last bay, and the hardest bit was this bay here, because that's where the most of the shit was. The rubbish was. Back here, there's not as much. We have the chassis of the Austin 7 Ruby. We have a petrol or TVO nutfield, which is a?
This is a TVO.
TVO nutfield, and we have a Fordson E27N. And there's not much, just literally bits of rubbish. It's not a lot, not as much. And then in that corner there, we have some treats. We have a shoot off a JF 1100, 2-row beat saw, gearbox off a 2720, and an engine and few other bits that we'll be going through in the next video when we get that far. But anyways, I think I am going to wrap it up at that. This video is probably long enough without me ranting and raving on. So, as it is Sunday and it's the final week of lockdown, we're all finally coming out of lockdown to go into our new levels of restrictions. But hey, businesses can open up, restaurants and whatnot can open, so it's good news. But for the last 6 weeks or 5 weeks of the lockdown, we have another competition, the last competition with Sealac for this week. So they're giving away a bag of their seaweed flake and 2 buckets of lake. It's the same as last week. Head over to the Instagram page, they'll have a post up there. Comment down below, tag people in it. Make sure you like my own page and their page, and you'll be in a chance of winning that stuff. And the winner will be announced the following Sunday. And it's lockdown is over, competition is over, and workshop is nearly there. But anyways, we're going to leave it at that for today's video. Videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. Also, just on something else, I have something planned coming near the Christmas that involves a lot of lights, a lot of lights, and the 3690, which will be very interesting. So keep your eyes out for that. But anyways, that's it from us for today. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Good luck.
It's only this massive one. More than deserving of his first cap. Once you thank your faith,